You're watching Amador County's local television network, TSPN. And now, TSPN's Amador This Week's Out and About. This local television coverage is proudly brought to you by Jackson Rancheria Casino Resort. And by Richard Forrester, Supervisor, District 2. And now, Amador This Week's Out and About on TSPN.
Hello, my name is Jeannie Deaver and I'm President of your Amador County Fair Board of Directors. On behalf of the Fair Board of Directors and CEO Troy Bowers, I'd like to welcome you to the 2012 Miss Amador Scholarship Competition. And we would like to thank you for attending the Amador County Fair. We have an action-packed show for you tonight with 7 young ladies vying for the Miss Amador County title. At this time, I'd like you all to stand. Please welcome Noah Throssell, Jacob Toraya, and Lars Thompson, who will be presenting our national flag and the Amador County flag. They represent the local chapter of the Order of the Arrow, the National Honor Society of the Boy Scouts of America.
Join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And now please welcome to the stage Jake Geedy, who will be singing the national anthem for us tonight.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Okay, thank you to the Honor Society of the Boy Scouts of America and to Jake Geedy for that wonderful performance. Okay, do you guys want to? Okay. And now I'd like to introduce to you our Master of Ceremonies for this evening, Mrs. Lucy Hackett of our very own Hometown Radio.
Thank you and welcome to the Amador County Fair and the 2012 Miss Amador Scholarship Pageant. And before we begin, I just want to take a moment. Those of you who have watched the Miss Amador pageant many years have probably noticed by now that I am not Jim Geedy. Jim Geedy hosted the Miss Amador pageant, I don't know, 20 years, maybe 30 years he's been doing it. We're going to let him retire from this job. And I will do the very best I can to fill his very big shorts. Shoes. All right. The purpose of the competition tonight is to acknowledge the youth in our county for their standard of excellence and achievements, and to motivate young people to a greater commitment of community service through the fair and community activities. Ms. Amador and her court serve as the official hostesses of the Amador County Fair and for the county as a whole. These young ladies serve as leaders for 1 year and as public relations specialists for the fair industry in our county. Tonight's scholarship awards for Miss Amador will be $2,000. First runner-up prize is $1,000. The second runner-up scholarship, $750. And the third runner-up scholarship, $500. The scholarship money all comes from donations from the community, and the Miss Amador Scholarship Committee truly appreciates our sponsors' dedication to the youth of our community. 7 young ladies are vying for the title tonight, so let's meet them now. Performing a dance number choreographed by Cara Augustin of the Studio Performing Technique Dance School, here are your 2012 Miss Amador contestants.
With a double major in Spanish and history. My hobbies include shooting, archery, and art. I would like to take the time to thank my sponsors, Spagnoli Mine Farms. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy your evening.
Hello, I'm contestant number 2. My name is Brianna Dutra, and I'd like to thank my sponsor. I'm currently attending Sierra College and going to be transferring to University of Hawaii, where I'll minor in music and major in nursing, where I'll become an emergency room nurse. I enjoy playing the trumpet and staying active. Thank you for coming out and having a wonderful evening.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Angela Farron, and I am contestant number 3. I am currently attending California State University, Chico. At Chico State University, I am studying animal science with an option in pre-veterinary medicine. I am also pursuing double minors in agricultural business and chemistry. Some of my hobbies include hunting and backpacking with my family, playing volleyball, and milking cows. I would like to take this time to give a special thanks to my sponsor, Jazzercise. Thank you and have a great time at the Amador County Fair.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Chelsea Anderson, and I'm contestant number 4. I'm 19 years old, and I'm going to be attending California State University, Fresno, majoring in nursing, where I plan to become a pediatric nurse. In my spare time, I enjoy playing the violin, horseback riding, and raising and showing livestock. I'd like to take this time to send out a huge thank you to my sponsors, Armstrong & Sons Construction. Thank you all for coming out tonight, and I hope you enjoy your evening.
I'm Sarah Lopez. I'm contestant number 5. After graduating from Argonaut High School, I will be attending Folsom Lake College, where I will be majoring in theater. My hobbies include volleyball, drama, and being with my friends and family. I'd love to give a big, huge thank you to my sponsors, Save Mart and Church of the Nazarene. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Cecily Swanson, and I am contestant number 6. A recent graduate of Amador High School. In the fall, I will be attending UC San Diego to major in political science. A few of my hobbies include drama, volleyball, and student government. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank my sponsors, Sobon Family Wines. Thank you so much, and I hope you all have a great time.
Good evening, my name is Jordan Ohm, and I'm contestant number 7. After graduating high school, I plan on attending either CSU Monterey or UC Davis, where I will major in kinesiology to become a physical therapist. I enjoy playing soccer, camping, and attending livestock shows with my family. I would like to take this time to thank my very generous sponsor, Mark Sudin Mining Construction. So thank you, and I hope you enjoy your evening.
You're watching Amador County's local television network, TSPN. And now back to Amador This Week.
Your 2012 Miss Amador contestant. Contestants are judged in 5 areas. Academic record is 15% of their score. Community service and fair experience, 20%. Personal interview and knowledge of the fair industry, 15%. Communication skills count for 20%. And on-stage presentation, 30% of their score. The first 3 categories were judged prior to tonight's event by a separate panel of judges and an interview setting and represent 50% of their overall score. Our judges for this first 50% of the score are in the audience tonight, and let's introduce them. Debbie Bellotti, wave if you're here. Debbie has lived in Amador County for over 30 years. She and her husband Joe live in Sutter Creek and have raised 2 wonderful young men, Joe and Mike. They will soon be adding a new member to their family, a grandson to Mike and Rachel. Debbie's the manager of the Jackson branch of Bank of America, and she offers this little fair fact. Bank of America brought the first mobile ATM to the Amador County Fair. Yay! Thank you, Debbie. Martin Ryan. Sheriff Ryan comes from a family with deep roots in Amador County history. He's a 4th generation of a 6th generation Amador County family. And Sheriff Ryan attended and graduated local schools and the University of California at Davis. His law enforcement career spans over 37 years in the Amador County District Attorney's Office, the State Department of Justice, and now as Amador County's 25th Sheriff. In 2009, Sheriff Ryan was honored by the Amador County Peace Officers Association as Peace Officer of the Year. Sheriff Ryan resides in Amador County with his wife, Teresa. Jerry Swift is a 4th generation Amador County resident. She and her sisters are partners with their father in Cooper Vineyards. She lives with her husband John in Amador City. Sue Duncan and her husband Barry own and operate Motherlode Printing in Jackson. Sue is active in community projects through the Argonaut Breakfast Lions and the Amador County Arts Council. She and Barry enjoy the community spirit in Amador County, and she's honored to be a judge for Miss Amador and is impressed by the caliber of contestant we're seeing tonight. Steve Hermanson is currently Deputy District Attorney with Amador County and a seasoned attorney with 20 years experience in practice. Steve has recently been elected as Amador County's next Superior Court judge. Steve resides in Amador County with his wife and 2 young children, and he's committed to Amador County youth and local programs. He continues to involve himself in programs that foster the development and advancement of youth and education. Thank you, judges. The last 2 categories are being judged this evening and represent the remaining 50% of the contestant score. The judges for this evening are Lacey Neufeld. Lacey is the pageant director for the Miss Calaveras Scholarship Pageant at the Calaveras County Fair and Jumping Frog Jubilee. Lacey's been directing the pageant for 6 years, as well as choreographing the opening numbers and fitness routines. She has a dance degree and has choreographed many on-stage performances. She is also an opera and classical singer. As a preteen, Lacey competed and placed in many pageants throughout the state, including Miss Calaveras pageant in 1999. She's also the director of the Miss Calaveras Volunteer Group, whose purpose is to volunteer for local organizations and fundraise for charity and people of interest. And tonight, Lacey has brought with her the 2012 Miss Calaveras Court, who came to support our 7 young ladies competing tonight. And with her are 2012 Miss Calaveras, Brittany Cox. Is she? Yeah. And first Princess Allison Guthrie. And second Princess Amanda French. So, thank you, ladies. Our next judge for tonight is Michelle Adair. Michelle was born in Holyoke, Massachusetts. She has a master's in dance from DEA College in New York City and competed in pageants as a young girl and was Miss Teenage Massachusetts in 1974. She has danced in off-Broadway summer theater and owned and operated Michelle's Dance Studio in Soulsbyville for 8 years. She's very involved in her community of Tuolumne County, focusing on dance and equestrian interests. And Michelle is also a busy realtor with Real Living Sugar Pine Realty in Tuolumne County. Thank you, Michelle. And Rich Hoffman, another judge for tonight. Rich grew up in Amador County and graduated from Amador High School class of 1983. He has served on the Junior Fair Committee, I was surprised to read this, president of FFA, and exhibited and sold livestock at the Amador County Fair as a teenager. Rich was a political science major in college and spent the early part of his career in radio and newspaper advertising. Rich is currently CEO of Jackson Rancheria Casino and Resort, where he has worked since 1997. Thank you, Rich. Alicia Donati is a third-generation Jacksonian. She has a fondness for the Amador County Fair. Growing up, she raised sheep for 4-H and showed horses. Alicia currently resides in Hollister, California, where she's pursuing a career in nursing. She stays busy with 3 daughters and is a leader in the Sheep Project for their 4-H club. And Tom Amberson. Tom is with us tonight from the California Fair industry. He is the California Fair Services Authority Safety Department Manager. His passions include being a musician, he's a drummer, snowboarding, and fishing. He enjoys visiting fairs around the state and is delighted to be involved in the Amador County Fair and to be a judge for tonight's competition. Tom resides in Elk Grove, California. Thank you all, judges, for your support and time. We are very honored to have a wonderful group of judges for tonight's competition. And now it's time for our on-stage presentations. This portion of the competition represents 30% of the contestants' overall score. Each contestant's score is evaluated on their articulation, manner of presentation, grammar, confidence, and overall appearance. The contestants were given a topic for their presentation, What Being Born in the USA Means to Me. But before we bring the girls on stage, if you don't have ladies to do hair and makeup, you don't have a pageant. So we want to bring our talented, or I hope they know we're here, girls, ladies, our talented hair and makeup artists for tonight. With us tonight, here they come. Haley Foster and Kelsey Soares doing hair and makeup for the ladies is Jessica Vinciaguerra. And thank you so much. They have lots of time into this little project. Thank you very much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, contestant number 1, Miranda Ornowski.
You know, I was trying to figure out what kind of shirt I was going to wear for tonight. But honestly, I couldn't decide. So I guess I'm going to wear my shooting vest instead. For people who don't know about shooting, this is just a snazzy thing that all of us wear. It's pretty cool. Like, it's better than the side pouch. It's easier to get your shells. And it also supports your shoulder when the gun's hitting you. So, I'm going to put this on. Being born in the U.S. means having certain rights that other countries never had. One of the most important of these rights to me is the Second Amendment, which I use constantly. Being born here, it's just, if I didn't have this right, I wouldn't know how to put this gun together, let alone know how to shoot it. And furthermore, if people don't know much about guns, this is a 12-gauge shotgun. It's by Beretta. It's a little bit old, so it takes a little while. I'm going to put it up here so everybody can see it. There you go. Shooting has affected every aspect of my life. It's taught me to focus, work hard, and set goals for myself. It also showed me that not only can I have an impact on this county, this nation, but the world. Now, I can't say what my favorite part of shooting is, but competing is somewhere at the top of the list. I love competing. I seriously compete over everything. I'll compete brushing teeth faster. I compete with my teammates, sometimes even my family, and especially myself. The best way to become a good shooter is to first take on the challenge of beating yourself. Shooting it's really hard to describe. It's the most exciting and challenging experience anybody can have. You can't have any doubt in your mind of your capabilities. My coach Richard Lynch always quotes Winston Churchill, "Never give up, never give up, never give up." Now, never giving up, I earned a lot of titles and awards, including the national champion title, 3rd in the National Junior Olympics, and 2nd in the nation this year at the college level. But the awards aren't important to me. What's important is feeling of excitement and pride when I show somebody else how to shoot and they start to love it as much as I do. And that's a great feeling because they come up and say, "Hey, you just showed me how to shoot. It's so much fun. I actually broke a target. It just makes me feel wonderful." I'm also fortunate enough to have a full ride shooting scholarship at Bethel University. So I get to go to college doing something I love. How cool is that? I also get to travel the nation.
You're watching Amador County's local television network, TSPN. And now back to Amador This Week.
I also get to travel the nation, one of my other passions. I get to meet new people and make new friends. Some of these new friends are from around the world, from London to Vietnam, Spain to Brazil. I learned about their culture and their way of life, how soccer is football, and bungee jumping down a waterfall is actually a hobby. But what surprised me the most was when I told them I was a trap shooter. Some didn't even know what it was. Others said, "Wait, you shoot a real gun?" Now, I can't tell you exactly what they think a real gun is, but it made me realize how lucky I was to be a country like this, a country where freedom is the top priority. Working hard, never giving up, listening to my coaches, and support from my family and friends got me to where I am today. I don't just shoot, I am a shooter. That's who I am. And being born in the U.S., with all the rights we have, has allowed me to be this, be me. And hey, who knows, I might be the next Kim Rhodes, and you'll see me in the Olympics in 2016. Thank you.
Contestant number 1, Miranda Ornowski. Now, we also want to be sure to thank all the people who help us make Miss Amador happen. Major thanks go to our various sponsors who donate money and time and other stuff that we need to put the pageant together. We first of all want to thank the Amador County Board of Supervisors, John Plass, Louis Boitano, Richard Forster, Brian Anetto, and Ted Novelli. Also, major thanks go to the Jackson Rancheria for their generous donation. Umpqua Bank, another one of our sponsors. Ione Minerals and the Rotary Club of Ione also have helped us tonight. Ella Emerson, thank you. And thank you to Denary Mortuary. Special thanks to Jeff Holman Auto Center and Mel and Faye's Diner. We also want to say thanks to Manacero Insurance, to Plymouth Sand and Gravel, to Phil and Wendy Bavero, and to GM Plumbing. And now, contestant number 2, Brianna Dutra.
Hello, my name is Brianna Dutra, and I would like to take this time to share with you what being born in the USA means to me. The first thing that comes to mind is freedom. Freedom is the right or power to act, speak, or think without restraint. Freedom is used around so freely and yet has so much power. This word gives us the freedom of speech or choice. Freedom of speech is one of our most important rights. It allows us to write or say whatever is on our mind, no matter, even if it's criticizing the government. Our other important right is freedom of choice. This right allows us to make decisions on our own and gives us our own free will. It's hard to imagine what life would be like without these rights, but because we've been living like this for years and years, but some people aren't as blessed. One of my close friends is from Ethiopia, and he told me a story that took place in 1997. The country of Ethiopia was having an election. When election time rolled around, people voted against their current government, and the politicians were outraged. In their defeat, they took all the ballots and burned them. If anyone dared to speak out, they would either be beaten or shot. My friend recalls driving around and seeing groups of protesters being beaten. It's sad to think that my friend was only 13 years old when he witnessed his cousin be abducted by the police. The police would go around and knock on everyone's door to find 16 to 18-year-old educated kids because they were a threat. Over 400 people were murdered for either being educated or speaking out. For the past 20 years, the government has been in power. This is why my friend came to America, to better himself and get a higher education, something he could not do in Ethiopia. This is why I want to join the Peace Corps, so I can help people that aren't given a voice. I know I won't be able to change the world, but I want to be able to change somebody's world by providing clean water and shelter. We should all be thankful for the blessings for living in a free country. We should all let freedom ring.
number 2, Brianna Dutra. We also want to thank our wonderful prop guys. We've got Johnny Lebenko and Kyle Moreno here, doing a wonderful job changing the scenes for each of the girls. Also want to thank Dave Thompson tonight for arranging the Boy Scout presentation of flags. Very nice. Gordon Hill Flower Shop donates all the beautiful flowers that will be presented tonight, and we want to give them a special thanks. Also, Tom and Patty Payton of Goldmine Jewelers, who donate an award for Miss Congeniality, as they have been doing for many, many years. So thank you to all of those as well. Almost. Contestant number 3, Angela Farron.
Good evening, everyone. As you may know, our theme this year is Born in the USA. So if you're proud to be born in the USA, can I get a yeehaw? Yeah! That's what I like to hear. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. When our forefathers drafted the Declaration of Independence, they sought to build our nation upon what they saw as the most significant truth to what the United States would stand for: life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness. And today, it seems as though people have forgotten what those 56 men did for us so many years ago. Not only do we forget the bravery and the courage and the leadership that it took to form a nation all her own, we forget how blessed we are to live in this nation. You may be sitting out there in the audience thinking, okay, 236 years ago, some old guys got together and did something that I'm supposed to care about? Well, yeah, because this wasn't just some bingo game at Independence Hall, people. This was the beginning of the foundation for our country. Tonight, I want to talk to you all about 2 principles of our nation that I believe are very underappreciated: the right to pursue happiness and the right to liberty. We have the right to the pursuit of happiness, and I believe that this means we have the right to pursue our dreams. As Americans, we are encouraged to dream from sea to shining sea, as big as the sky that we live under. We are encouraged to dream as big as we possibly can. So picture a string of 5-year-olds on the day that they graduate from kindergarten. Little Tony Joe stumbles over to his teacher, and she bends down to ask him, "Tony, what do you want to be when you grow up?" So he looks up at her for a second with huge, innocent eyes, and then says with absolute certainty, "I'm gonna be a firefighter." Kids in other countries can't do things like that. They're born into their fate, whereas we are born into a nation where we are raised to believe that we can do anything that we set our minds to. I have friends pursuing their doctorates when their parents couldn't even afford to go to college. I know single mothers working 2 jobs, raising a family, and still going back to school. Friends of mine grew up as the sons and daughters of poor farmers and are now interviewing at some of the biggest agricultural associations in the country, all because we have the right to pursue our dreams, to pursue happiness. Rights like these are given to us as Americans, but the reason that we can continue to count on having these rights is because we are blessed with freedom. This brings me to liberty. Liberty is arguably one of the most underappreciated rights that we have as Americans. Except for holidays like Memorial Day or Independence Day, we tend to go through life, day by day, without acknowledging the fact that we are blessed with freedom, a liberty that some people could never even imagine. And who do we have to thank for our freedom? Well, of course, we have to thank our forefathers and our ancestors for the blood, sweat, and tears that went into building our great nation. But who kept it that way? We have to thank those who served, those who are serving, and those who sacrifice themselves fighting to keep our freedom alive. John F. Kennedy once said, "Let every nation know, whether it wishes us well or ill, that we will bear any burden, meet any hardship, support any friend, and oppose any foe to assure the success and the survival of our liberty." That is what these men and women are doing for us today, every day, and even this very...
You're watching Amador County's local television network, TSPN. And now back to Amador This Week.
Today, every day, and even this very minute. How can we overlook something like that? Because every day that we wake up in a free nation, that is our Independence Day. We were born in the USA, and we were blessed with certain unalienable rights, such as the right to the pursuit of happiness and the right to liberty. We can follow our dreams, and brave men and women fight to keep it that way. That is what being born in the USA means to me. What does it mean to you? Because if you're as thankful as I am for our rights, take a minute, just a minute, every day, to appreciate how blessed we are to have been born in this beautiful country. Thank you all. God bless you, and God bless America.
Thank you. Contestant number 3, Angela Farron. Tonight's Miss Scholarship coordinators, Miss Amador's Scholarship coordinators are Lori Halverson and Kim Toma. Lori's back helping the sound guy. Kim is up here in front making sure we stay on track. Pam Harris is helping backstage, and Amanda Halverson is our stage manager tonight. So thank you to them, and they've been working on this for a few weeks now, so they've definitely got a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into tonight's scholarship competition. And now, contestant number 4, Chelsea Anderson.
Good evening, everyone. Hopefully you all recognize the beginning of one of our country's oldest and greatest hits, the Star-Spangled Banner, our national anthem. For as long as I can remember as a child, I always sang our country's song, blindly feeling a sense of pride in something I didn't fully understand. Without thinking, as our first chords began to play, I would always experience goosebumps running up and down my arm. Without thinking, I would place my hand over my heart, as I was told to, in a sign of respect for our country, never understanding the meaning of that symbolic gesture. Like many young children my age, I would imitate the words to that song without contemplating the true value of those beautiful lyrics. Now, as I grow older, I will experience those very same goosebumps every time that moving ballad begins. But I now have a deeper appreciation for the men and women that still fight to protect my right to be born in the USA. Our country has battled from the very beginning to secure our freedom as American citizens, and still do to this day. But that is only one example of what makes this country so special to me. The rights that we are given allow us to be a part in the decisions being made in our country and to vote for who we truly believe should be our nation's leader. Now, I know that everyone has their own very strong opinions on this matter, so don't worry, I'm not going to be opening that can of worms tonight. I feel so privileged as a young American, having the chance to voice my opinions without fear of retribution. My voice, along with many others, will be heard regardless of our race, color, status, gender, religion, and age. These freedoms that we have been given should never be taken for granted. As I begin our national anthem in closing tonight, I hope that you all would take away a different perspective from this beautiful song and never forget where we began and what it took to get there. Thank you all for coming out tonight, and I hope you enjoyed the rest of your evening.
Contestant number 4, Chelsea Anderson. Each one of our contestants tonight has a sponsor, and we'd like to thank them for helping the girls with their individual journey to tonight's pageant. They've received sponsorships, and we'd like to thank them. Spagnoli Mine Farms, Mark Suden Mining Construction, Soban Estates, Armstrong and Son Construction, Diana Fuqua of Jazzercise, Stephen and Raylene Wigglesworth, the Church of the Nazarene, Save Mart Stores, and the Ione Picnic Association, all sponsors, each sponsoring one of tonight's contestants. Let's give them a big round of applause. Thank you very much. Contestant number 5, Sarah Lopez.
Hello everybody, my name is Sarah Lopez. My mission tonight is to explain to you guys what it means to me to be born in the USA. Well, for me, being born in the USA means I am privileged. From the time I can remember, I've always been taught that no matter how little I have, there are always people out there that have less than myself. It's an honor for me to give back to others. I am lucky to have been born in the USA. Most of us have more stuff than we need to survive. I mean, we all have nice cars, cell phones, plenty of food. We all have nice, warm, comfy homes. Well, right now, I'd like to share with you a poem that when I read these words, it truly describes what my home in the USA means to me. Home, sweet home. Home is that chipped teacup in the china cabinet that belonged to your grandmother. Home is your artwork proudly displayed on the refrigerator. Home is that favorite place you prefer to watch and sit television. Home is knowing where the best snacks in the house are kept. Home is the place that always welcomes you back. But there is another kind of home in the USA. What if this was your home? What would you put in it, and where would you rest your head? Well, when I went on a mission trip to Kentucky, I learned a technique to turn useless grocery bags into a sleeping mat for the homeless. All you're going to do is take a regular plastic bag like this. You're going to fold it up, take a pair of scissors, cut the edges, and then cut the other edge. And then cut straight down the middle. And then unravel them like this, so then they look like a big, huge circle. And then you're going to connect them. And then you're going to roll them into a and then after, you will take an extra large crocheting needle. And then after, you will have created this. Since I've been back from my mission trip, I have continued to make these mats with others.
You're watching Amador County's local television network, TSPN. And now back to Amador This Week.
These mats can bring a sense of home to anyone in the world. Maybe we all have certain talents that can make a difference in the world. Maybe it's just sitting with the elderly and keeping them company. Or maybe it's something that can honestly change the world. Being born in the USA means we can change the world, one action at a time. Thank you very much.
Contestant number 5, Sarah Lopez. Thank you, Sarah. Now, how many of you out there have been here all day long? Yeah. How many of you will be here tomorrow? Yeah. So, lots to do tomorrow. Starting early in the morning before the fair even opens, horse show in the morning. And they're going to be doing halter reining and walk jog classes and trail classes. So that'll be exciting if you're up early. And then, of course, music all day long once the fair opens up. Don't forget 49er Kids Town, new this year, set up the way it is, and the Jumbo Shrimp Circus, which I haven't had a chance to see, but I know that's going to be, well, jumbo anyway. Also this year, tomorrow, actually every year, and on Friday is the wine tasting, which starts at 7 o'clock. And in the grandstands tomorrow night, hot rod, truck, and tractor pulls. We're actually really grateful that the tractor pulls are tomorrow night and not tonight, because usually they're right there during the Miss Amador pageant. So, also tomorrow night on Picnic Hill, the Spasmatics. We understand they are 80s nerd rock, so you'll have to use your imagination, but I bet they're going to be fun. So I don't know if you've seen the picture of them. Well, one of the guys has on a bicycle helmet and suspenders, so you can take it from there. All right, now we're ready for contestant number 6. Cecily Swanson.
and literature. That's what enthralls me. I love to study the past, to try to decipher what the heroes and villains were thinking, the reasoning behind each decision. I love comparing the champions of novels to the people of history. And over time, I have realized that life itself is just one big adventure story. American history is the closest thing to a fairy tale I have ever come across. There might not be a princess riding off into the sunset, but there were people in our past that showed definite resemblance to the characters of Robin Hood or King Arthur's Round Table. This country was founded on a dream. It was imagined in a fantasy and written down by geniuses, just like any other fairy tale. Why couldn't a beggar live in a palace? Why couldn't a woman be a soldier? It's this similarity to myths and legends that makes being an American citizen so unique. We don't discourage the visionaries or the fantasists. We don't let anyone step on our dreams or rain on our parade. If we work hard enough, anything we want can come to fruition. And that is what being born in America means to me. It means that each child gets the opportunity to make his or her dreams come true. It means each person gets the chance to make his or her life extraordinary. And that, to me, is the best gift anyone could ever receive. The chance to get a degree, to travel the world, to go into space, to take center stage, to take control of his or her destiny. And the United States has been a safe hold for the dreamers, the hopers, the wishful thinkers. People from all over the world have flocked here, searching for brighter days, working hard to prove they have a beautiful life ahead of them. My grandparents were these kind of dreamers. Traveling from the Philippines and from Norway, they came here looking for better lives for their families, bringing with them their cultures to the American table. With them from the Philippines, they brought a traditional dance called the tinikling, about a native bird who evades the bamboo traps set down by hunters in hopes of a better and prolonged life, just like my grandparents. And I am proud to present it tonight. I learned this dance when I was a little girl. I have had the opportunity to share it with a myriad of people, from close family friends to fellow Girl Scout troops to students at my high school. Growing up here in Amador County, I have met the most caring people who have always taught me to reach for the stars. I have found the most wise, generous, and dedicated mentors any person could ask for, and the most supportive friends. And I have learned, as long as I am determined and work hard, I can always achieve my happily ever after. Thank you very much.
Contestant number 6, Cecily Swanson. And thanks for the Fair Board for making this fair something that's accessible to everybody. And we know that people not only in Amador County, but people from neighboring counties come to the Amador County Fair because it's the best fair ever. And now, contestant number 7, Jordan Ohm.
So, I had a bad hair day. No, I mean a really bad hair day. Let's just say it was one of those days where if your hair looks like that, it should be a federal crime with definite prison time if you go out in public. Now it all started with the routine morning bathroom tour. I turned on the lights and walking with my eyes half closed, I glanced in the mirror and I nearly screamed at the sight of the half-squinting monster in the reflection. Now don't get me wrong, this monster and I have been acquaintances once, twice, 50 times before. But that morning, it seemed as though the creature in the mirror had met the flu, mono, bronchitis, and broken up with her boyfriend all at the same time. Now after attempting to tame the beast with some hairspray, and then resorting to some groveling to skip school, and failing, I was now late, and with the bell ringing, I sprinted to my locker, frantically searching for a rubber band, my last hope. But my search came up empty. Dodging everyone I knew, kind of an oxymoron, seeing we live in Amador County, I was spotted. Now I occasionally talked to the girl who occupied the locker next to mine, but unfortunately, that morning was one of these occasions. After an obvious double take, she asked, "Yikes, what happened to you?" "I hate my hair," I told her. "I really hate my hair." Now, fighting back a smile, she said, "You know, it's all about the attitude, they say. You can choose your attitude, even about this." Now, I stared at her with a blank expression on my face, while at the same time doing an inward eye roll at Little Miss Sunshine standing in front of me. "Have you ever heard the story of this one old lady?" she asked. Despite my obvious reluctance, she kept continuing. "There was this one old lady who was nearly bald, with the exception of 3 hairs on her head. One morning, she wakes up to find this, and she says, 'Great, I braided my hair today.' And she did, and she had a great day. The next morning, she wakes up to find she has 2 hairs on her head. 'Great,' she said, 'I think I'll part my hair down the middle today.' And she did, and she had a great day. But the next morning, she wakes up to find she has 1 hair left on her head. 'Great,' she said, 'I think I'll wear my hair in a ponytail today.' And she did, and she had a great day. However, the next morning, she wakes up to find that she has 0 hairs left on her head. 'Great,' she said, 'I don't have to do my hair today.' And she didn't, and she still had a great day. Now, leaving it at that, the girls have turned around and started sauntering towards class. And with me pondering the old lady's story, I too headed to class. But as I was walking down the hallway, I spotted a breast cancer awareness poster that my school fundraised for. And on it was this beautiful chemo-affected bald woman smiling widely. Now there's this beautiful woman with no hair at all, smiling, having chosen her attitude. Now, without realizing that I'd been standing there and smiling back at this poster for a good half minute, I quickly looked around to make sure that no one noticed my creeper status for smiling at this poster. But with one last glance at the woman, I turned on my heel and started walking to class, pulling my hair, but smiling, for I too...
You're watching Amador County's local television network, TSPN. And now back to Amador This Week.
Smiling, for I too had chosen my attitude. What being born in the USA means to me is that as Americans, we have this right to choose our attitude about our country, others around us, and ourselves. Because of the freedom that the United States of America allows its people, there are so many attitudes that we are at liberty to express. Happy, mad, satisfied, frustrated, Just this infinite amount. We have the right to choose our attitude about something as simple as a bad hair day, or as complex as the path that our country will take. Like the woman on the awareness poster, or the three-haired old lady, we are able to choose our perspective. The founders of our nation guaranteed us this right. However, it is your decision that makes a difference. Bottom line, we are fortunate to be Americans, for there are people elsewhere who lack the rights that we were blessed with here. So remember, my fellow patriots, Americans, and Bad Hair Day veterans, that attitude is a decision. Choose the right one. Thank you.
Contestant number 7, Jordan Ohm. Now, for the past year, Kylie Ohm has been serving as Miss Amador, and we'd like to acknowledge her parents who are sitting in the audience tonight, Todd and Carla Ohm of Ione. Beautiful girl. And she'll be giving a speech about her year as Miss Amador. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Amador 2011, Kylie Ohm.
So, I'm back on summer vacation in Amador County after attending UC San Diego for 9 months. And let me tell you, coming back, you begin to notice a few differences. Living in a small county, we have years, not days. In a big city, you have days where things happen, be day-to-day life. You meet new people at the mall. You sit by a new student in lecture. You see new people every day. Monday through Friday, you get stuck in 5 o'clock San Diego traffic, and you hit every traffic light on the way home. You have groups of friends who are completely different from one another. If you want to hang out with these friends, it usually includes going to shopping at the mall or going to a snazzy dinner. If you need groceries from the grocery store, simply stop by the grocery store. However, here in Amador County, we do things a little differently. We have the same groups of friends that we've grown up with, argued with, and made up with. If you want to hang out with these friends, it usually involves bonfires with tailgates or attending a high school football game. In regards to traffic, you can count the number of stoplights in Amador County using your hands. If you want to stop by the grocery store, beware. It's going to take 15 minutes to get the things you need and 45 trying to make it out after saying hi to family and friends. When I say we have years and not days in Amador County, I mean that because we remember things by our years. You remember the year that you got your very first ribbon at the county fair, second place for your snickerdoodles. You remember the year that your high school basketball team made it to Arco Arena. You remember the year that you worked with your steer all summer, and once you get into the show ring, it goes from a steer show to a rodeo. You remember the year that you had the opportunity to be Miss Amador County. This year has been so memorable. For example, driving into the truck and tractor pull on a manure spreader. Diving in the mud in an event where cars purposefully crash into each other. Attending parades being pulled by a tractor while sitting on a hay bale. Anyone can see why I felt like Amador County royalty. I got to be a princess for a year in a county completely like no other. I thank you so much for this opportunity. I also have a few more thank yous I'd like to give out. First and foremost, I'd like to say thank you to the 3 ladies who put on this pageant. Without them, it wouldn't happen. Kim Toma, Lori Halverson, and Pam Harris. These 3 ladies coordinated pageants that not only benefit but also educate young women of Amador County. I'd like to say thank you to their families for letting us steal them for daytime events, early morning interviews, and nightly rehearsals. Thank you so much, ladies, for making this year so memorable. I would also like to thank again my sponsors from last year, Ione Picnic Association and Ronald and Dolores Ohm of Ohm Farms. Without your generous sponsorship, I wouldn't even be here today. Thank you so much. I would also like to thank Jerry and Nancy Pezzi of Paisanos Pizzeria in Ione for not only making the best pizza in Amador County, but for being the most understanding bosses through all the Miss Amador events I threw at them for my schedule. And, of course, I would like to thank the group of people that not only put up with me this past year, but for years 1 through 18, my family. Mom, Dad, you've been my foundation, my support system, and my idols. And I thank you so much for teaching me everything I know and for always being there for me. I love you. I would also like to thank my two best friends, the girls that know me the most, and the girls I argue with the most, my beautiful sisters, Tori and Jordan. You two have always made me laugh. We've always had fun, and you've always had my back. You're both so strong. Tori, literally. I love you so much. Thank you. And I would also like to thank, well, one last time, Amador County. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. It has been an absolute privilege to wear the crown and sash of Amador County. You have taught me so much and have given me so much, and it has been an honor to represent you. In conclusion, finally, I would like to personally welcome you to the 2012 Amador County Fair. May you enjoy the rest of the fair and always be proud of being born in the USA. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Amador 2011, Kylie Ohm. And now it's time for the evening gown portion of our evening and for an impromptu question with each one of the girls. And so first, contestant number 1, Miranda Arnowski. Graduate of Amador High School. She's currently attending Bethel University, Tennessee. Miranda is pursuing a double major in history and Spanish with a minor in education and psychology. Miranda is the daughter of John and Erica Ornowski of Pine Grove, and Miranda is sponsored by Spagnoli Mine Farms. Miranda's question: do you think high school sports are an important part of school?
I definitely think sports are important in high school or any other school because it builds leadership and it builds a really big bond. It teaches people teamwork, how to work together, which is really needed when they get onto the real life because you can't be working in a store and not be willing to work with anybody else. It's also really important because, like I said, it brings big bonds. Like, I have some really close friends from volleyball that I've been friends with for 4 years. I think friendships are really important, especially in the time that we are in right now. Thank you.
Contestant number 1, Miranda Arnowski. Contestant number 2, Brianna Dutra. 2010 graduate of Amador High School, and she's currently attending Sierra College. She hopes to transfer to the University of Hawaii. She's studying to become a registered nurse with a future focus of becoming an emergency room nurse. Brianna is the daughter of David Dutra of Jackson and Joanne Hemingway of Jackson.
Promise me that you'll get better.
You're watching Amador County's local television network, TSPN. And now back to Amador This Week.
In what way could you be a role model for the youth of today?
I feel like I could be a good role model by doing what I'm doing today, by working and going to school, being honest to all my loved ones, and being a true friend for the people who are around me. Thank you.
Thank you. Contestant number 2, Brianna Dutra. Contestant number 3, Angela Farron. Angela is 18 years old. She's a 2011 graduate of Amador High School, and she's currently attending California State University, Chico. Angela's majoring in agriculture with an option in animal science and pre-veterinary medicine. She hopes to transfer to either UC Davis or Texas A&M to pursue a doctorate in veterinary medicine. She's the daughter of Mark and Michelle Farron of Pine Grove, and Angela is sponsored by Diana Fuqua of Jazzercise. Angela's question. Should students in public schools wear uniforms?
Well, I believe this really depends on the school. If the school thinks that there's a problem because of gang affiliations or something like that, then yes, they can enforce uniforms. However, for the most part, I would say no, because at a public school, many kids are there and cannot afford to go to a private school. They may not be able to afford uniforms. So public schools would have to issue uniforms. I don't think that is a wise use of a public school's funds when they could be using that money to better their academics. Thank you.
Contestant number 3, Angela Farron. Contestant number 4, Chelsea Anderson. Chelsea is 18 years old. She's a 2011 graduate of the Anderson Academy, and she'll be attending California State University, Fresno in the fall. She's studying to become a registered nurse with a focus in pediatric nursing. Chelsea is the daughter of Michael and Valerie Anderson of Pioneer, and Chelsea is sponsored by Armstrong & Son Construction. Okay. What are some of the qualities in a person you look for in choosing your friends?
Some of the qualities
qualities that I look for in a friend are loyalty, trustworthiness, dependability, and compassion. My mother always told me that the people that you surround yourself help shape your character. And I still hold that to be true to these days. Thank you.
Contestant number 4, Chelsea Anderson. Contestant number 5, Sarah Lopez. Years old and will be a senior at Argonaut High School in the fall. After graduating from high school, she plans on attending Folsom Lake College and majoring in theater. Sarah is the daughter of Shirla Lopez of Jackson, and Sarah is sponsored by Save Mart Stores and Church of the Nazarene. I know they stick together. What are your goals for the future?
Well, my goals for the future is, of course, graduating from Argonaut, and then going to Folsom Lake College in the hopes of becoming an actress after studying theater, and then one day hopefully having little Sarahs, and then just living my life to the fullest and being myself. And that's what my goals for the future are.
Contestant number 5, Sarah Lopez. Contestant number 6, Cecily Swanson. Cecily is 18 years old and she's a 2012 graduate of Amador High School. She'll be attending the University of California, San Diego, where she'll major in political science with the hope of adding a theater major as well as a minor in media arts. Cecily is the daughter of Steve and Elizabeth Swanson of Plymouth, and she's sponsored by Sauvon Wines. If you were president for a day, what important issue would you address?
If I were president for a day, the issue I would address would be the lack of funding towards education and the cuts that are made towards it. I would hope that we'd be able to fix it so that every student gets an equal education and has an easier time getting to college. Thank you.
Contestant number 6, Cecily Swanson. Contestant number 7, Jordan Ohm. Jordan is 17 years old and will be a senior at Argonaut High School in the fall. After graduating from high school, she plans to attend CSU Monterey Bay, where she will major in kinesiology to become a physical therapist specializing in sports medicine. Jordan is the daughter of Todd and Carla Ohm of Ione, and Jordan is sponsored by Mark Suden Mine Instruction. What special charities, causes, or groups do you support and why?
I support many charities, causes, and groups, but one that really stands out to me is hospice, because what they basically do is when you are terminally ill and you don't really know what to do, they come in and they prepare you for the road ahead and your loved ones, and they finance what needs to happen before it happens. And the thing that really appeals to me for hospice is that their slogan is, when science can't add any more days to your life, we add life days. So thank you, hospice, for everything that you do. Thank you.
Contestant number 7, Jordan Ohm. What a talented and attractive group of beautiful young ladies. At this time, the judges' scoring is complete, and our scoring sheets will be collected and taken to our official scorekeeper, who is John Kirkpatrick. And John was our county's auditor-controller for over 30 years. He's now retired from that county job, but he continues on as the official scholarship competition scorekeeper. He's been doing that for the last 25 years. So let's give a big thank you to John Kirkpatrick for what he does for us. And now we'd like to ask Cara Augustin to come to the stage. Cara has helped our scholarship committee tremendously by choreographing the contestants' opening dance number. Cara began her dance training with the Sue Brummett Dance Factory. How many of you out here dance with Sue Brummett or kids on stage?
You're watching Amador County's local television network, TSPN. And now back to Amador This Week.
Since a tender age, now a rich politician wants to lower my wage. Pour me a drink so I can understand. These are the struggles of a working man. I work outside in the pouring rain when it's cold as ice, when I'm full of pain. It don't matter what I feel inside, long as the job that I'm working gets done on time. Pack up your tools, boys, and head on home. I pour another drink and try to understand. These are the struggles of a working man. I build things. You understand how important that is to the world? I don't know if y'all realize the pressure that puts on a man like me. Struggles of struggles of this working man. These are the struggles of a working man.
Thank you so much to Cara Augustin and the dancers. Now it's time for us to say farewell to Kylie Young, and we need Kylie to come back out. Kylie is currently attending the University of San Diego, majoring in political science. She's had an event-filled year while not in school, attending numerous fair functions, parades, and being an advocate and public relations specialist for the Amador County Fair and the county in general. Kylie is the daughter of Todd and Carla Ohm of Ione. So a little bittersweet, huh?
It is.
But are you ready? You ready to move on? Pass your crown on to the next girl?
Yes, I've had my year of fun, and now it's ready for someone else.
So what would you, two of you, give some advice to the girls before they started either deciding to run for the pageant or tonight? What's your best advice for them?
Remember it. Soak in every moment. Because sometimes you get caught up in the nervousness and the stress and the having to wash animals during fairs. Just remember it. You gotta let it soak in.
Yeah, one little bit at a time, so you can just doesn't go by in a blur. And we understand that you're going to political science. What would you like to do with your political science major?
I would like to go to law school afterwards to become a district attorney.
Oh goodness, well that is ambitious. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. I'm very excited.
And you're living down in San Diego most of the time?
Yes, I live in the dorm rooms down on campus, so study hard.
All right, Kylie. Well, we thank you so much for all of your service in this past year, and we hope that you have fond memories of serving as Miss Amador.
Of course. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you, Kylie. Oh, Kylie. Sorry. Kylie, come back. We were supposed to chat for a minute about the Miss Congeniality Award. So tell us, what does it mean to get the Miss Congeniality Award?
The Miss Congeniality Award is an award that comes natural. Opposed to being Miss Amador, you can practice your speech over and over again. You can play your instrument time and again. Miss Congeniality is voted on by the girls at one of the dress rehearsals, and the young lady that is awarded Miss Congeniality tonight is considered by the girls the young woman that practice wouldn't be the same without. Someone who makes it fun, someone who's always helpful. So Miss Congeniality is quite the special award to get.
We'll be announcing Miss Congeniality when we announce our final results, but we do want to let you know that we have a beautiful piece of jewelry for Miss Congeniality, and it was donated by Tom and Patty Payton of Goldmine Jewelers. It's a butterfly pendant. It's white gold with almost a 1 carat diamond and a white gold chain, so it's really pretty, really pretty. And we'll be letting you know who's Miss Congeniality in just a little bit. Yeah, thanks. Thank you, Kylie. Again, we want to thank our sponsors tonight, GM Plumbing, also Phil and Wendy Bavaro. We want to thank Plymouth want a special thanks to Melon Faye's Diner and Jeff Holman Auto Center. Thanks to Denary Mortuary and to Ella Emerson. Thank you to the Rotary Club of Ione, Ione Minerals. Thanks to Umpqua Bank and the Rotary Club of Jackson. Special thanks to the Jackson Rancheria, and thank you again to the Amador County Board of Supervisors, John Plass, Louis Boitano, Richard Forster, Brian Onetto, and Ted Novelli. Later on this weekend, I know you'll all be here for the next 3 days. Cattlemen's Day is Saturday, and of course that's a big day here with the rodeo that starts at 8 o'clock in the grandstand. But in the meantime, you'll be able to enjoy the Kit Carson Mountain Men. Be sure to get over to Frontier Town and see what they're doing. They've always got their costumes on. They're doing interesting historic pioneer activities. There's also activities going on in the Spur Emporium all day long for kids and grown-ups. These are free activities. Just go in and see what they're doing. In the various other buildings, there are demonstrations by the Master Gardeners and by, let's see, we've got an artist. On Saturday, they're doing watercolors. I think tomorrow it's an acrylic painter. So you'll be able to see demonstrations and get some great ideas. So don't, use those warm hours in the afternoon to go inside where it's air conditioned and enjoy and see some of the beautiful things that people have made and entered in the fair in Pokerville Hall, where there's the great photography and art projects, the carvings and the quilts that people make, and then of course the great food entries and see who won the best prizes for. Ooh, good job. That was quick. And see who won all the awards for the various fair entries. All right, now the moment we've all been waiting for. Let's bring all the contestants back on stage. Contestant number 1, Miranda Ornowski. Contestant number 2, Brianna Dutra. Contestant number 3, Angela Farron. Contestant number 4, Chelsea Anderson. Contestant number 5, Sarah Lopez. Contestant number 6, Cecily Swanson. Contestant number 7, Jordan Ohm. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2012 Miss Amador Scholarship contestants. And I have a special announcement here tonight. Due to the overwhelming financial support of our community, the Scholarship Committee is proud to be able to provide a $250 scholarship to the contestants who do not place in the Miss Amador court. We sincerely thank all the members of the community for allowing this opportunity to further assist in the education of these young ladies. All right, it's time for Miss Congeniality. Okay. Tonight's Miss Congeniality Award goes to contestant number 5, Sarah Lopez.
You're watching Amador County's local television network, TSPN. And now back to Amador This Week.
Open the envelope, please.
Okay, you can stand up here, John. All right, John is opening the envelope for me. And third runner-up is contestant number 4, Chelsea Anderson. Good job. Second runner-up and the winner of a $750 scholarship, contestant number 7, Jordan Ohm. And the envelope, please. First runner-up and the winner of a $1,000 scholarship, Angela Farron, contestant number 3. And tonight's 2012 Miss Amador, winner of the $2,000 scholarship, contestant number 6, Cecily Swanson.
You're watching Amador County's local television network, TSPN. Amador This Week's Out and About has been proudly brought to you by Jackson Rancheria Casino Resort, Richard Forrester, Supervisor, District 2, and by John Plaz, Amador County Supervisor, District 1. Amador This Week's Out and About on TSPN.